Welcome everybody, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, I'm attempting to reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers, and if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, so we're back with another best of albums by year, and this one here is Best Albums of 1990 Hard Rock and Metal Edition. Now, I ended up with so many great albums from this year, it was really hard to narrow it down. I created some criteria to try to help with that. The album had to be a career-defining album, create or assist in industry-changing ramifications, and the sound and style of the album had to stand apart from the masses, at least at the time. Now, even with that, I still ended up with 7 honorable mentions that I've got to give a shout out here because they're absolutely fantastic albums, even though they didn't make my top 10. And so, no particular order here, but Trickster's self-titled debut, just absolutely fantastic. Another really great one here, Sleaze, Screwed, Blued, and Tattooed. Just a really solid rock album start to finish. Spread Eagle, you can see I'm rocking the shirt here. This one here is just one of the all-time classic debuts by a sleaze metal group. Start to finish, fantastic album. If you don't know them, please check them out. Damn Yankees, one of the greatest debut melodic rock albums out there. We're listening to it in the background right now, but just fantastic stuff. Extreme, Pornography 2. This album here, just absolutely fantastic stuff. I mean, it had the huge power ballad, More Than Words on it, so certainly could have made the top 10. Cinderella, Heartbreak Station. This group just never has made a bad album. Everything they've done is fantastic. And then Firehouse, their debut record. These guys were just solid rock radio hit makers at the time. Another big power ballad by them. But we're gonna kick things off with what I think are the top 10 best albums of 1990 hard rock and metal edition. All right, and coming in at number 10, we've got Winger and the Heart of the Young. Their second album, this was group was formed by former Alice Cooper backing band members Kip Winger and Paul Taylor. And then they added Reb Beach and former Dixie Dregs drummer Rod Morgenstein to the lineup. And they were able to combine elements of both glam and progressive metal all in one. And that was one of the big things that set them apart from all of their peers. This album here was able to dominate the charts even well into 1991 with all the grunge going on. They had a top 20 Billboard Hot 100 single with the song Miles Away going to number 12. And the other 2 singles on it charted just outside of the top 40 at number 41 and 42 respectively. The album was ultimately certified platinum. All right, coming in at number 9, we've got Slaughter and their debut, Stick It To Ya. This album here was, band was formed by the former Vinnie Vincent Invasion band members, Mark Slaughter and Dana Strum, Vinnie Vincent being from Kiss and the album Lick It Up. So these guys came from his solo band, and their debut album created a legitimate rock anthem in the song Up All Night, going to number 27 on the Billboard Hot 100. But their follow-up single, Fly to the Angels, was even bigger, going to number 19. And then their third single, Spin My Life, was another top 40 hit, going to number 39, and the album was certified double platinum. And for a debut album in 1990 to do that, that was pretty amazing stuff. All right, coming in at number 8, one of metal's all-time greats, Judas Priest, Painkiller. 12th studio album and last to feature Rob Halford at the time for 15 years. And at that time, a great metal album to go out on. But the album's release at the time was delayed by 4 months due to the fact that the band was actually on trial with allegations that subliminal messages in another album had actually led someone to perform a murder. Later, the charges, of course, would be dropped, but it took 4 months for that trial to take place and for the charges to be dropped. Upon its release at the time, the album just took the metal world by storm. I mean, it was their heaviest album at the time, just showing that metal was alive and well and could combat anything. 3 classic singles came off of it, the title track Painkiller, Nightcrawler, and Touch of Evil. These songs are still performed in their live set today, showing how great they are. The album was ultimately certified gold. All right, coming in at number 7, Iron Maiden, No Prayer for the Dying, pioneers of the new wave of British heavy metal scene, and probably the biggest of all the progressive metal bands in the world, simply based on the fact of their ability to play massive crowds anywhere in the world. Iron Maiden is just one of those bands that is just huge the world over. It's their 8th studio album and was first to feature Janet Gears, who had come from Bruce Dickinson's solo band, but before that, he actually played with Ian Gillan from Deep Purple, and then before that was also part of a new wave of British heavy metal band, White Spirit. So the guy had been kicking around a number of years before ending up in Iron Maiden, and certainly well-deserved spot to get. Featured the massive hit Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, going all the way to #1 in the UK. For an Iron Maiden track to do that, that was pretty amazing, and the only time they ever did that in the UK. The album was certified gold. All right, and at #6, we've got Warrant in Cherry Pie. Second studio album, their best-selling, and I think one of the albums that just totally epitomized the era. It featured the top 10 Billboard Hot 100 single Cherry Pie, going to #10. Rock songs at the time just did not do that. It was sort of reserved for the ballad territory. It's kind of the times we were in during the 1990s where the top 10 was filled with power ballads and stuff like that. So when you had a hard rock song like Cherry Pie doing that, just was an amazing feat in showing how great these songs were. The video featured video vixen Bobby Brown performing tongue-in-cheek references to the song. And their follow-up single, I Saw Red, which was a power ballad, also went to #10. And the song was so big, they actually filmed 2 videos for it, including one of them, which was just an acoustic rendition of it. The album was ultimately certified double platinum. Okay, coming in at #5, we've got ZZ Top and Recycler. This was a culmination of a 3-album trilogy and just perfected the sound and style that had started all the way back in 1983 on Eliminator, and then continued with Afterburner in 1985. And this album here, I think, just really perfected what that was and what they were going for, and something that lots of bands attempted to emulate. Featured the song Double Back from the movie Back to the Future, of which the band actually made a cameo in the movie, albeit performing the song as an acoustic rendition to fit with the times. And it featured 4 really big rock radio hits, including the song My Head's in Mississippi, a real dirty blues number, and the album was certified platinum. Coming in at #4, we've got Queensrÿche and Empire, probably their biggest album. It's the 4th album at the time, and another huge progressive metal band, just setting the groundwork for a lot of bands that would spring up in the wake of their success. Featured 6 singles and videos. I mean, another thing that was just unheard of at the time for a hard rock and metal band to have 6 singles come off of an album. Featured the monster hits Empire, Jet City Woman, and the top 10 Billboard Hot 100 single Silent Lucidity, which went to #9. And then the song Another Rainy Night also had 2 music videos, as it was just performing so well in high rotation on MTV, making that second video for it to keep it going. The album was ultimately certified triple platinum. Okay, coming in at #3, Ratt in Detonator. One of my personal all-time faves of the era. It was their 5th and final album for Atlantic Records. It was produced by Desmond Child under the alias Sir Arthur Payson. Not a lot of people know that if you see that name, that was really Desmond Child. Not really sure why he ever chose to do that, whether it was a contractual issue or not. May have to look into that and follow up on that, maybe in a separate Ratt review or something. But yeah, Desmond Child produced it. He also co-wrote the thing, and it actually features their only power ballad in the song Giving Yourself Away, which was co-written by Diane Warren, who would have later huge hit success with Aerosmith and a lot of other artists. It was their most polished effort at the time, and I think it really captured the quality of the glam metal sound and what it could be. The album was certified gold. All right, coming in at #2, we're down to just the top 2 here. Poison, Flesh and Blood. This is their 3rd album, and another one that I think just epitomized the glam era. The album cover itself was later edited to remove the blood that you can see that's dripping down. This was taken fresh from Bret Michaels' tattoo at the time, and later on there was some issues behind it. Some stores didn't want to carry it. They thought it was too graphic, so they later photoshopped out the blood. And if you buy the album today, you do not get it with the dripping blood that's on it. So that was something of the time. The album itself spawned 2 top 10 singles. Unskinny Bop went to #3, and Something to Believe In went to #4. And when you can write rock songs that actually chart higher than your power ballads, again, just showing the quality of what these songs were and how catchy and pop-centric they were. And the album also featured 2 top 40 singles in Ride to the Wind that went to number 38 and Life Goes On that went to number 35. And the album itself was ultimately certified triple platinum and selling 7 million copies worldwide. All right, coming in at number 10 here, or I should say number 1, top 10 album of 1990. I don't think it's any surprise, AC/DC's Razor's Edge. It's their 12th album and major comeback for the band, solidifying their place in the rock pantheon. I mean, when you've already done Highway to Hell, then you followed up with Back in Black. I mean, you're already, in at that point, but here you do 1990, you do Razor's Edge, and of course you're just solidifying your place in the rock pantheon world. A real return to form for them, just straight ahead hard rock. Featured the monumental rock hit Thunderstruck, plus 2 more big rock hits at the time, Money Talks and Are You Ready? Unfortunately, they hardly ever performed those anymore in concert. I think if they did, the songs would continue to have been huge. But of course, Thunderstruck is the one that we all know. And the style of playing that opens that song with what Angus is doing on the guitar and the hammer-ons and pull-offs that he's doing, I think it's just instantly recognizable now as an AC/DC and an Angus Young thing, totally associated with him. When you hear anyone else doing it, you immediately think Thunderstruck, AC/DC, and something that they were just able to hone in on. The album ultimately went to number 2 on the Billboard 200. Again, a really high charting position for it, and was certified 5 times platinum. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this, the best albums of 1990 hard rock and metal edition. I'm sure this doesn't encompass everything out there, and I'm sure you've got your own. Maybe you did it in a different order. Maybe there's ones you feel I left out. You can leave me your comments, let me know your thoughts, give me your own top 10 lists. But ultimately, I hope you all enjoyed this. Have a great day, and I'll see you all real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.